This is Breakfast with Dan Walker and Sally Nugent.
Now, if you're in this position, you won't need telling that it's half term for millions of families next week, and some are heading abroad for the first foreign holiday since all this pandemic business began.
Yes, UK travel restrictions will be eased on Friday, making the return journey fairly simple, but the rules do vary for all the different destinations. Ben is here to explain it all. Morning, Ben.
Morning.
Good morning. You're absolutely right. It's going to be a lot simpler, a lot nicer for people when they're returning to the UK at the end of half term. But there are still some testing and vaccination rules in place, and they differ from country to country. Very good morning. Have your passports and boarding cards ready for me. Maybe a while since you've heard those magic words, but after 2 long years, lots of families are gearing up for their first holiday abroad since the pandemic began. That is because it's half term for millions next week, and because the UK rules are easing on Friday, just in time. Anyone who is fully vaccinated and all under 18-year-olds can return to the UK without any pre-departure or arrival tests. People who haven't been vaccinated will still have to take a day 2 test, and everyone still has to fill in a form. But, and this is the important bit, check the rules at your destination, because lots of other countries still have their restrictions in place. Some popular holiday spots have put expiry dates on vaccination certificates. So if you want to go to Spain or to France, you'll either need a booster or to have your second jab within the last 9 months for it to count. If you're heading to Italy or Austria, your second jab or booster will need to have been even sooner, within the last 6 months. Something else that's causing half-term headaches, the entry requirements for children vary from country to country. Spain requires all UK travellers over 12 to show proof of vaccination. Austria, Belgium, France, Germany, Italy and some US states are also difficult to access for unvaccinated teenagers. Then, of course, a few places are still totally closed to UK travellers, countries like Australia and Japan. And all of that means holiday companies are seeing more interest in places where the rules are simpler, like Mexico and Turkey. But that is not an option for everyone, as our transport correspondent Katie Austin has been finding out.
Ben and his family have great memories of the Canary Islands. They were looking forward to making more last year, but restrictions forced them to postpone to this February. Now, children over 12 need 2 jabs to enter Spain, so the holiday is off.
But unfortunately, the 12-year-old has only just turned 12, so doesn't have his second vaccination yet. So we only cancelled a few days ago. We thought we'd hold out until the 1st of Feb in case anything changed. But yeah, unfortunately, we had to pull the plug.
Ben is far from alone.
Good afternoon, Travel Kits.
Travel agents say lots of people want to go away at the moment, but they're having to keep their customers informed of an ever-changing international patchwork of COVID rules. Spain, including the Canaries, is usually a half-term hit.
You can get a little bit of heat, wear your shorts, sit outside and eat.
The rule barring over 12s with only 1 or no vaccinations is having a big impact.
50% of our bookings were moved because actually it's all families. They'll move destinations or move dates and plan for Easter.
It's a headache for tourism businesses in the Canaries. They want the Spanish government to relax their restrictions because many Brits are heading for places like Turkey or Mexico instead.
In Tenerife, we have 2.5 million British citizens every normal year. So when we talk about Christmas, when we talk about February, we're talking about nearly 30% of the business. So that means that this loss could be nearly 1,000 million euros if we do not take that measures out.
From Friday, it'll get a lot easier to come into the UK. Fully vaccinated travellers no longer have to take any COVID tests to enter this country. But people planning trips overseas still really need to know what the rules are at their destination, because every country has its own requirements. And not just for entry. In France, over 16s need a pass showing proof of vaccination to access certain activities, including getting a ski pass. Unvaccinated 12 to 15-year-olds can take daily tests. Tour operators still expect a bumper Easter and summer, but many families who hoped for winter sun are having to wait a little longer. Katie Austin, BBC News.
It is worth remembering, of course, that even though the rules have relaxed, lots of families are really struggling with the cost of living at the moment, high energy bills, more expensive food items. So any holiday abroad for so many families is still out of the question. And Sally and Dan, there is a wider point here as well. The travel industry said that the pandemic restrictions caused a £7 billion hit to the UK economy last year. Their big hope was that half-term would be a chance to recoup some of those losses. They may have to wait a little longer, though.
Yeah, be a bit more patient. Ben, thanks very much.
Talking of travel, Olympic champion Tom Daley's on a bit of a trip.